wants to live below their means? I want to live the best life I can possibly live.
When you were in school, were you an A student or a C student? You know, were you the star of the class or the flunky of the class? And if you weren't the A student, then did that mean you couldn't be successful? Is that what it means to you? If you didn't go to a great school, you're never going to be successful? What if you drop out? You know, what if you drop out like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates? That means you've had it. Jack Ma, who was the founder of a little company called Alibaba, he just recently said, if you're 35 and you're not rich and successful, you'll never be successful. Of course, Jack Ma is a school teacher, former school teacher who struck it rich. But naturally, they have this idea that if you're not successful in school, you'll never be successful in life. And my contention has always been it almost damages you in school. You know, school damaged my brain, and my father was the head of education for the state of Hawaii, PhD. And I hated school. I mean, I sat there and getting pounded all the time for being stupid.
So I talk about this often. I use liability. If I want to buy a new Ferrari, I first buy an asset, and the asset pays for the Ferrari. I wanted a Rolls Royce. Why? Because I never had a Rolls Royce. I've had Bentleys. So I built an asset, and the asset then bought my Rolls Royce. Now I'm kind of bored with cars. So I don't have a guilty thing, is that I have financial education, which is what the Rich Dad Company teaches. And you can have the same thing too. You just have to stop listening to those school teachers who are poor. You know, most school teachers, like my poor dad, very good people, but they're so terrified of making mistakes. They want a steady paycheck, and they want a guaranteed pension. I don't think you can get rich from that point of view. I'm actually a very shy person. Mm-hmm. So learning how to sell was the hardest thing I could do. Yeah. But if I hadn't spent 4 years learning how to sell, I never made it here, I never made it here.
Mm-hmm. So the entire time that you were here, you were preparing to jump to the other quadrant.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So every job is not so much for the high-paying job with job security.
Yeah.
For not everybody. You know, most people should have job security because they're not designed to be entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to be an entrepreneur, then you better take this job and say, well, which way am I going to go?
Yeah. Okay.
So I knew my job at Xerox was to go here and here and here, not stay here. Mm-hmm. And I actually make so much money over here that I don't need job security, I need the money. So really that's the lesson. When you look at a job, you look at what can I learn more than how much can I make. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest challenge. And if you look for a job where you can learn a lot, the harder the job, the better it is. Yeah. If you're going to be rich, you have to have one of these. But 99% of all high school students leaving school and college have no idea what this is. You have FICO scores, you know, but you don't know what this is.
No.
So when a banker asks you for your financial statement, they want to see how smart you are here. So let me tell you why school makes students poor. So really simply, it's this. Let's say I have a master's in arts, Master of Arts degree, right?
Yeah.
Or a Bachelor of Arts degree.
Yeah.
Do I learn anything about income?
No.
What about Greek mythology?
Oh, there you go. That's very important.
I learned nothing about income. And we wonder why kids are leaving school, or young generation, looking for that high-paying job. But now let me ask you this. If you have a degree in technology, do you learn anything about assets?
Never.
So you could be a techie and you know nothing about this. You could be a techie and know nothing about this. You see, when a banker looks at your financial statement, they're looking at the mirror of you. This is a reflection of you. And if you got Jack here and Jack here, then you're not that smart financially. So the reason the cash flow game is such an important game, it teaches you what is important to your banker or for a capitalist or for an entrepreneur. is an entrepreneur's got to know how to increase their income.
Yeah.
And an entrepreneur's got to know how to create assets.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know those two things, you should not be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You should be an employee. My rich dad would give me so real quickly, this is the cash flow quadrant, you know. You have E stands for employee, S stands for self-employed or small business, or specialist like a doctor or a lawyer. B stands for big business, 500 employees or more, and I stands for insider investor. See, these guys are passive investors, they're outsiders. These guys invest from the inside. So the I's are like Shark Tank guys, like Mark Cuban and all that. They're entrepreneurs who now acquire other companies. So when I was probably in my 20s, or when I was growing up, should I say, my dad wanted me to be an employee. So when I got out of the Marine Corps, I could fly. So he wanted me to fly for the airlines as a pilot. So I didn't want to do that. And my mom, she was a nurse, and she wanted me to be a specialist, like a medical doctor. And I said to my mom, "This is one problem." I said, "Medical doctors are smart. That's what S stands for." She goes, "You're right. You'll never be a doctor." So I only had one hope, was to go to the B side and the I side. So today, you know, I own many, many businesses, and I invest from the inside. Now, some people say, "Well, insider trading, that's illegal." It's not illegal. There are certain parts of insider trading that's illegal, but the biggest deal is always inside. So what my rich dad taught me is, if you're not on the inside, you're on the outside. And the reason most people don't make much money is on the outside. You know, like just now, Uber and Lyft floated on the stock exchanges. The insiders already made their money. Now the outsiders come in. That's the game. So in my lifetime, I've taken 3 companies public on the Toronto Stock Exchange: a gold company, a silver company, and an oil company. I did it because I wanted to find out what it's like to be on this side, on the B and the I side. And they're completely different worlds, different mindsets, different human beings. So if you want to go to school, this is where people wind up, E and S. And Rich Dad stands for people who want to be on this side here. It's a very different mindset, skill sets, education process.